This might sound familiar to you. You meet someone, you tell them you do art, a hobby, maybe writing, whatever it may be. They want to see some of your work, and you sit there paralyzed with nothing to show them and no idea where you're supposed to procure that. And then you remember, oh, okay, I have a cell phone, I can show you something on there. So you go through your gallery and you kind of scroll in a panicked frenzy to find whatever you can muster up. And you land upon something that you did when you were in the 6th grade. Then you have to explain, this isn't my best work. It says, it is what it is. And they react and they're like, oh, yeah, that's cute. And your soul has been crushed. I'm going to try and help you solve this problem today. Now, full disclaimer, the thing that solved this problem for me personally was I started posting my art to social media, and because I have a social media, come on, that's the easiest thing to show someone. However, all these tips apply to people that don't necessarily want to start a social media, or even if you do and you don't want to give people just willy-nilly access to your accounts, this is applicable for pretty much anybody. And I'm going to be dividing it up into 2 categories. There will be people who prefer traditional media and those who prefer digital. And I've yapped enough, so let's just get straight into it. Okay, my first step is to keep an art journal. And I don't mean necessarily a sketchbook. We all have a sketchbook. I mean an art journal. Or even if you don't want to go and buy a whole new journal, you can just keep an art log section in your current journal. I have prepared for you this is just my normal journal, but I prepared a blank page for you guys, and I'm going to do an up close of me actually logging in my most recent sketch, which is a little Very Hungry Caterpillar and Alice in Wonderland sketch. In general, I use my art journal to plan out ideas, jot down inspiration. Really, the bulk of the art journal is utilized for unorganized thoughts and progress updates on my current works. The real value of this, however, comes from the art log, which is stowed in the front or the back of the journal, kind of like an index, or at least that's how I like to organize it. There are only 2 columns in the art log. There is the art piece and the date of completion. No matter how big or small the art is, I like to document it here. And even if it is only a sketch, like this one that I have up here, this isn't really a completed work. It was just a fun little doodle I did for a video. You can check that video out, by the way, if you haven't. I document it here because it helps me tackle the project with the intention to ultimately tick the completion box. So I'll even put down ideas that have not come to fruition yet. And when I complete them, I fill in the date, and it's very inspiring. It's great to see a list of all the art that you want to create. I know this seems simple, but a lot of people don't do it, and it's so helpful. I didn't do it for the longest time. This actually leads pretty well into my next point, which is all of your art, no matter how big or small, should be named. My second tip is to title everything. When you give something a name, you are much more likely to remember it. Like hurricanes. When everything has a name, which it can be a generic name, by the way, name a painting Janet. It really doesn't matter. But when you have it fresh in your mind and you really create a connection with that piece and you're marking it down in your journal as a win, it is so encouraging to go and create more, and you really do remember what you have, and it just creates a lot of organization and structure. Pretend your art is a hurricane. Tip number 2. Okay, my third tip is to keep a collage. Editing me to pop in and say that this tip also is completely applicable to a gallery wall. I don't have a collage to show you, but I do have a gallery wall, so keep that in mind.
Now, don't tell me, I don't have anything to show you for this one. However, it's not because I haven't done one, I have done one. This is the last one that I did. My art was so outdated at that point that and then I moved it was a whole thing. I didn't end up keeping it, but I have done this before, and it's so fun. The idea is very simple.
You print out your art, whether it be traditional or digital. You take pictures of it, you get it all printed out. Listen, this is the highest effort option for a reason, but you get it all printed out, and you can do this through Walmart photos. They have those 4x6 photos that I think are 18 cents, and I used to do maybe 2, even 3 or 4 art pieces kind of collaged onto one photo, cut those up, and then I would collage them and I would put them in a scrapbook. And you know, physical media really is getting lost in a ever-increasing digital age. This is a really fun way to bring back the old photo album, something fun that you can set on your lap that weighs like 10 pounds and browse through it with your family and friends. Trust me, it is a lot of fun. Now, as forementioned, you can also interpret this as a gallery wall, which is a little bit more in and so much fun. More work than the scrapbooking all your art, I would say, but so much fun. I have a gallery wall of my own. This is what it looks like. And you know, I actually sort of unintentionally did exactly what I'm talking about in this video, which is I printed out certain works and put them up on the wall. A lot of these are original, they are my own, but the ones that I'm like pointing at right now, these ones I actually printed out. They are not my own works, and I put them up on the wall, but you can do that with your work. You don't have to put the original piece up. You can just go get your work printed like a print and then put it up on the wall. And oh my gosh, this is a conversation starter. Lots and lots of beloved friends have noticed this gallery wall and they ask me about it, and it is a great way to track all my work. It also is a good daily reminder of your skill. Sometimes I feel like, oh, I haven't done much, I'm untalented, blah, 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 you know, the whole spiel. Sometimes we get that way, and having a gallery wall is surprisingly encouraging. The reason I really like this is because it's a really fun thing to show people, and you can even do a photo album if you don't want to do the whole scrapbooking thing. Get one of those old photo albums. Not old, oh my gosh. I have one. You can get a new one. They still make them. But you know, growing up, you guys used to have the big old thick photo albums. Get one of those and print out 4x6 of all your art. If you go and get a good deal, it really isn't all that much, and it's a lot of fun. And you can also curate what you allow people to see in case you don't want them seeing your OC ship art. Yeah, I got you. And if you have to go and take pictures of all the art, it leads to having a fully stocked up digital gallery. So now we will get into the digital methods. So this is my half tip, and the reason I say it's a half tip is because it is only applicable to iPhone users, but it is my favorite tip. I am so happy that I found this. It is a shortcut. Deepest apologies for how dark it is, but this is the shortcut. So I'm going to link this in the video description, or if I need to link it elsewhere, like on my site maybe, I will make sure to specify that in the comments. This takes you straight to shortcuts, and I named it Art Album, and you can add the shortcut. I already have one, but I'm gonna keep both here. So you'll want to hit the 3 dots once you have it downloaded, and mine says, take one photo with back camera, get current focus. If current focus does not have any value, save photo to blank. In my case, I have an album named Art. You'll need to fill out that section, and you might need to fill out this section. I'm not totally sure what it would look like if it was not my own device. Essentially what this means is that if you are not in any mode, if you don't have your focus set to anything, it will save to your art album. Hilariously enough, I'm actually on sleep mode right now, so I would need to go ahead and go off of sleep mode, which I will do. What I did is I made the shortcut, and then I actually added it to my lock screen. And the way you can add it to your lock screen is simply by customizing, and then you can add it as a widget. I'll take it off real quick. So you go to shortcuts, and you can add a shortcut widget. You can select which one it is. I'm obviously going to select the art album shortcut. And this is really, really cool, guys. So you have it on your lock screen. You don't even have to open your phone. You press the shortcut. You take a picture of whatever. Use photo. I want to use this photo. And then when I go and check my actual phone, you will find that there it is in my art album. So it automatically adds it to the album. And I don't know about you, but oh my gosh, this is so much more convenient. Doesn't it feel so tedious to have to go in and select the thing and then take the and then edit and then add it to the album, and then the album you gotta scroll down to get to? It's a whole deal. But yeah, this is my favorite little half tip. Tip number 4, label everything. This can be done on iOS or Android, and all you do is you go into the info section if it's on iOS, or you add a tag if it's on Android. Wait, do people still say Android or do they say Samsung? Have I been saying Android? I think Android's a thing of the past, isn't it? Is it Samsung now? If you own a smartphone, there's a good chance you already know how to do this, but I figured no harm in showing it. In iOS, you can do it through the info option and add a caption, and through Samsung, you can do it through the details option and you can add a tag. So title, label, everything. And these tags, what's fun about them is you forget how many things that you've tagged art. And then you have kind of this big compilation and you're like, oh, I forgot I made that. I forgot I tagged that. It's really fun. Okay, tip number 5, start a Pinterest board or start a notes board. I kind of prefer the notes because Pinterest, I used to love using Pinterest for everything, my outfits, my art, whatever. I'd have private boards and just throw everything into there, but it's become overrun with ads, and for some reason now, sharing anything on Pinterest, it takes so long for the photos to upload, and sometimes they like take down your stuff if it violates guidelines, even though it's private. I'm kind of moving away from Pinterest. I'm not really the biggest fan of the app anymore, so I would actually suggest doing the notes thing. Now, this is not my idea. This was somebody on either TikTok or Instagram. I'm not gonna bother going back and finding the clip because you may have seen it as well if you're on the same side of the internet that I'm on. It was fashion related. That's how I got onto this tip, but you can use it for art too, and there's a lot of really cool benefits to using this for your art. I'm doing a little demonstration here. It's very simple. You'll just hold down on your art piece and it should automatically create this little sticker. You can take that sticker, share it, and add it to a notes, and the notes that I'm picking is my artboard notes. And then it creates this cute little gallery. It's actually really nice looking, and you can hold down on the image once it's in the board and you can enlarge it so that, if you're showing people, you can expand it and it preserves the original file quality, which is awesome. And you can actually delete it out of your gallery, so you don't need to keep all the pictures in your photo gallery if you want to clear up space. Okay, number 6, create a website. I know that kind of goes against the whole point of not doing social media, but keep in mind that with websites, 1, in my opinion, they are more fun. 2, the interface is completely personal to you. And 3, not everyone has social medias or even all social medias, so having a website is pretty universal. Plus, you don't have to deal with all the downsides of social media, etc. You get to bypass all that and just go straight to having a nice digital portfolio of your art, and it does not have to be complicated. For the lowest effort website ever, I would recommend creating either a card or a link tree and then having the only thing available be an external link, like some sort of image hosting software database site. It could be a Google Drive if you want to use your own personal Google Drive. Maybe look into Dropbox, whatever, but have your link tree or your card go directly to that image hosting site where you have external storage, because that gets it all off your device, and this is really, really accessible by everyone. If you want to be taken seriously by your possible employers, it's definitely a great look. It's much better than some of the other methods because it would be a little bit weird to share your Pinterest board with your boss. But yeah, this is ultimately the highest effort, but the best, in my opinion, digital compilation and organization of all of your media, all of your art, all of your work that you can present to someone and have it all categorized, organized, and accounted for. That's all I have for you guys today, and I hope this helps a fellow creative get their art in a nice, more compiled space. I hope this helps you get your ducks all in a row. Remember to be kind to yourself. Remember that any period of work and period of rest is needed and good for you as an artist, as a creative, as a person. Please take care of yourself, and you all have a wonderful evening.